got a 2013 Mazda cx5. It's got a 2.0 Ford motor in here, direct injected. What's going on, it came in for misfire on cylinder 3. She had a guy replace the spark plugs about 8 months ago with no avail, and honestly he screwed her over, because this is one of the plugs I pulled out and they all look like this. And for a plug to last 8 months approximately, it should look brand new still, like fresh out the box. So she got screwed over, he scammed her, and there's just no way iridium will degrade in this fashion over the course of 8 months. It just don't happen. So came to me, I was investigating the misfire for cylinder 3. Now I'm not going to go, I'm just going to give you the rundown of what I did. Then we're going to do the test that I'm suspecting is the issue, the underlying problem. Because this is not a it's not an aggressive misfire at all. I mean, it runs perfectly fine. You wouldn't even really know the difference when you drive it. It doesn't hesitate. But the misfire on cylinder 3 continues to populate. Now I tested the coils, I pulled waveforms, I did the amp waveform and the voltage waveform, and they look great, for the exception of number 3 is showing a lean discrepancy on the fire line. But all these coils perform well. They're your factory OEM coils. Just naturally, I'm like, look, your coils are fine. This is not going to fix your problem by putting plugs in there. So she understood, but we did update the plugs with normal NGK iridium. That's what's in there right now. Misfire still persists though. I did a compression test, cylinder leak down test on cylinder 3, because that's the main one that's populating at the moment. Everything's fine. I did see a little bit of scoring on the wall, but that's not going to cause this misfire to gradually populate. The injectors are the problem on this vehicle, and what I'm going to do is show you how I determined that the injectors are going to be the issue. We're going to do a fuel balance test with it running. I think I said the technical name for it, but basically it's like an injector balance where the vehicle makes the injectors sustain either extremely lean condition or extremely rich condition, and see if it can tolerate it. But we're going to have to use misfire data to see which one is at fault and is incapable of supporting the requirements. So let me give you an example. If the vehicle, the engine is extremely lean, it's going to begin to add a significant amount of fuel, like 25% positive. Then it is going to add fuel. All those cylinders should be balanced out. It should not create any misfire, but whichever one decides to create a misfire, that's going to be an injector issue. We'll do the opposite, create a rich condition. It should take away fuel. Whichever one starts to generate a misfire, that's going to be our problem. So let me show you the misfire data, because that's what I have this running for a reason, and let you see how cylinder 3 is constantly populating, and then we'll jump right into the test. All right, here we go. Let's put in misfire. All right, there you go. See cylinder 3, since I've been talking, it's just been populating on cylinder 3 here, and that's just stationary at idle. Once it hits above 255 or so, just going to generate a check engine light. Let me just give it a little throttle, and like I say, it does not hesitate. It doesn't do anything. It's just cylinder 3 populates. It's slow and subtle, but over time it'll, there you go. I felt a little bit, and there you go. Yeah, it populated. So, and again, it's not much. I mean, you feel a little bump. It doesn't have that jolt like an ignition coil. So being that we see cylinder 3 is misfiring, you saw it yourself. Let's just perform this test and see if it can take and sustain itself under extreme conditions. I have a couple pieces of data pulled up. which are all the misfire counters from cylinder 1 all the way to cylinder 4. I also have the heated O2 sensor for bank 1, sensor 2. It's only going to be one bank. Currently, we are a bit lean, lowest lean with the oxygen sensor. Higher is going to be a rich condition. Our long term is at positive 10, so it's adding fuel. And our short term is fluctuating between 0 and positive 3. One thing we can do is simply disconnect the O2 sensor. But what I want to do is create that extreme lean condition, so I'll be in control over it. O2 sensor is going to be located in the exhaust system in the back. There's a special socket you got to use to pull it off. And once we get it off, I'm just going to start up and let it run. It'll flack a little bit, but this, what we're trying to achieve, just needs to be done at an idle. Oxygen sensor is sitting, well, it's the AFIA ratio sensor, is sitting on the rag on the valve cover. I'm gonna let that sit there. So, or just like it's sitting, we're creating a lean condition. Atmosphere is very lean in comparison to that fuel soaked environment in the combustion chamber. What needs to happen with the data, we need to see this go positive. So it's trying to add a large amount of fuel. We're going to look and see if there's any misfires that get generated. We're going to isolate that cylinder and then create a rich condition. See if it flips the other way. If there's any other cylinders that are that can't cooperate under extreme demands. So let's start it up and see what happens. Wait for our fuel trim, our short term to change. Again, it should go, there we go. It went positive. Our long term should also go positive. And then we're just simply going to monitor the misfires, which cylinders can't sustain itself. That's marginal, not a big deal on number 1. Check out our number 4 here. Going to let that sit for a minute. Long term has made its accommodation as far as making an attempt to command the fuel system to add 25% more fuel. We're just going to sit and wait. But it's looking like cylinder 4 can't sustain itself under an extreme lean condition. And being that the vehicle operates in a dynamic state, you may go into a high elevation, low elevation. Those are quote unquote extreme states. And if it can't level itself out like all the other injectors, well, this is going to be the lone wolf here. This is going to be a problem. And looking like that's probably going to need to be replaced. Let me just give it a minute. All right, it's been a few minutes. Cylinder 4 has gradually been populating the misfire. We're at 123 right now. If you notice, cylinder 3 has completely stopped misfiring. So that should tell you something. Let's artificially create a rich condition and see what happened with cylinder 4. See, it still went up 10 more. To create the rich condition, you're simply going to use a rag and some brake cleaner. What it is, we're going to put this over the head of the oxygen sensor. I want to say oxygen sensor, AFIA ratio sensor, and it's going to be forced to breathe these fumes in, and we're going to artificially create a rich condition. Let me show you. Watch how fast it changed. Look at that. See, our short term has gone negative now, and our long term will accommodate. Look at that, misfires on cylinder 3 now. Let's see how that responds and then see how cylinder 4 responds. So we're going to give it another couple minutes and come back and check it. It's literally only been like less than 60 seconds. Our misfires on cylinder 4 stopped. Cylinder 3 has already got, look at that, already at 108. And we're trying to force some stability through the PCM. So it's trying to make its accommodation, but this injector on cylinder 3 can't tolerate a rich condition. Cylinder 1, nah, not a big deal. But the only good cylinder, only good injector on this car is likely only going to be cylinder 2. That's the only one that's not showing any misfires under these extreme conditions. And look at cylinder 3. Had a phone call come in, but look at it now. Cylinder 3 has maxed out. Cylinder 2 is the only cylinder that's not misfiring. Cylinder 4 has cooperated under extreme rich conditions. Cylinder 1, yeah, it's probably in the midst of going out. We just need injectors. That's all this car needs. I'm gonna button this, put everything back together, and conclude this assessment. There's really nothing else I can do. Now, I will admit, being that I've already tested this, I'm just going over it with y'all. I did try an injector service. It didn't work. Okay, they just don't work. So we got bad injectors. They're in their dynamic state. It's that fluid don't do anything. So I tried. When I tell you, when I test these things, I really legitimately do test these things that I'm against. People read these claims and look at somebody on the internet and believe like these injector services are like worth it. Nope, I did 2 cleanings, still broke. So what I'm gonna do, wrap this video up. If she should bring the car back, I mean, for these injectors, price them out, bring them back. Just look for this video in the future. I'm definitely gonna do a video on this and like tag this video with it in the description. But if anything happens, you know I'll update. Hit that link, subscribe to the channel, stay informed, how to reach my work. See you on the next one.